What is up, folks? Kevin Iole here. UFC 305 is on Saturday in the U.S., on Sunday in Perth, Australia. And joining me now is one of the most exciting lightweights in the world. He is in a really fun fight. He is taking on number 11 ranked Dan Hooker. Of course, I'm talking about Mateusz Gamrot. Mateusz, welcome. I appreciate you, brother.
Hello, welcome too. Hey, everyone.
So let's start with this. This is a big fight for you, I would imagine. You know, you look at the rankings and you're ranked number 5. But as I look at this, with Islam Makhachev being hurt, Charles Oliveira just lost to Tsarukyan, Justin Gaethje got knocked out by Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier just lost to Makhachev, that puts you in a very interesting position. Do you feel like you're fighting for potentially an interim title shot here?
Of course, everything is my hands right now. My goal is finish Hooker in Sunday morning here, and then if I get the opportunity this year, I wanna fight in interim belt. Yeah, I am ready. I already beat Arman Tsarukyan. This is great stylistic man to me. Yeah, I think like the result when I will fight with him again will be the same, or I also finish him in before time. So I am excited, but right now my focus in the fight with Dan Hooker. He's tough opponent. He's high level striker, but only striker. This fight not gonna be K1. This gonna be mixed martial art, and I wanna test himself in the ground and finish him.
We're going to talk about the fight in a little bit, but I want to talk about that Tsarukyan fight because that was one of the best fights in 2022. The UFC has that on as a featured fight on their YouTube channel. So you can go ahead and look on YouTube on the YouTube channel, and you can find that fight from 2022. It was one of the best fights of that year. What do you remember about that? And do people still come up to you? Because I know that was in Apex. I was there that night. That was not that big of a crowd in the place, right? But I'm sure now everybody says they were there and they saw
it. Yeah, I had great memories with this fight. This was 5 rounds, non-stop action, a lot of scramble. This is what I love. Because wrestling is my DNA, like jiu-jitsu. I love this style, and each my fight I show these skills. Yeah, Tsarukyan style is great to me because he is wrestler, I am wrestler. So we have a lot of action, and I like stylistic like him. So I'm looking forward to meet him again.
You know, I want to throw something out there about interim titles and get your opinion on it, because it sounds like you're in favor of interim titles and you like them. To me, it's like, you know, they should be only used in an extreme, you know, circumstance. And here, you know, Makhachev has an injured hand, probably going to need surgery. We don't even know that for sure right now. But don't you think right now there's too many interim champions in the heavyweight division? We have a champion and we have an interim champion. The interim champion just defended the belt. Do you feel like, you know, they overdo it a little bit with these interim belts?
Again, please.
Do you think there's too many interim championship belts? Like, do you think that they should wait more on the person who actually won the championship as opposed to scheduling an interim championship?
I don't know. This is like idea from UFC. This is politics, but of course, if the champ is out too long time, it's good idea make interim title fight, because after this, when he's regular champ and inter champ, this is really interesting fight to make together. So we'll see what's happened, but. If I can get this opportunity this year, for sure I take it and I will fight. But everything will be what happened when I did in Sunday morning with Dan Hooker. If I give entertaining fight or I finish him, for sure I can be next in the line.
You know, I don't think people, unless you're really a hardcore fan, know how good you've been over this last couple of years. And I just want to list this: 7 out of your last 8, you're on a 3-fight winning streak, and you have wins in that time. Scott Holtzman, Jeremy Stevens, Carlos Diego Ferreira, Tsarukyan, Jalen Turner, Rafael Fiziev, and then, of course, RDA, the former champion, Rafael Dos Anjos. I was in Miami at UFC 299 for that. A really incredible performance by you. It seems like you're fighting now with a lot more confidence, Mateusz, than maybe you did when you first got into the UFC. Is that a fair assessment?
I am in the UFC right now just 3 years. This fight with Hooker gonna be number 10. Each my fight, I get the new experience when I step to the cage. So this is not so long. I know every my fights later, I will be better. Yeah, and of course, every guys from top 10, top 5 is tough guys. Each fight is really tough matchups. Yeah, but this matchup with Dan Hooker, I think this is great to me. Is great opportunity. I am thankful UFC that give me this guy, because the guy is huge name in UFC. He fought almost 10 years. He beat really good guys in the cage. So I know if I passed him, I get a lot of more experience. I will be much better position than I am right now. And of course, I always looking for opponents higher than me in the ranking, but this time nobody was available. I wanna be active. I wanna fight like the regularly. So that's why I agree fight with Hooker, and I wanna show my best.
I know you're teammates with Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier has a win over Dan Hooker. Is there anything in training that, like, Dustin can impart, when you guys have, Dustin knows your style, right? Because he trains with you, and he knows Dan Hooker because he was in the octagon with him. Can that help you in any way?
Dustin? Yeah, I have a good relationship with Dustin. I helped him before when he fought in Islam. My and him relationship was really closer. For example, right now he texts me message. He give me good vibes and good motivation before this fight. But when he fought with Hooker, this was stylistic striker versus striker. So the guys make really good fight, like fight of the year. But right now it's like stylistic grappler versus striker. But I have a few surprise for Hooker in my feet. So this fight can be grappler versus striker, or can be like a really good fight to surprise for everybody.
I wonder what you think. Hooker, he lost to Dustin. Michael Chandler has a win, and then he loses to Makhachev and Arnold Allen. So those are 4 really good guys that he lost to. But at that point, he had 4 or 5, and I think he was in his mid-30s. There was a little bit of a thought that maybe Dan Hooker was on the downhill slide, but he's come back with back-to-back good performances, a win over Claudio Puelles, and then a really nice win over Jalen Turner. From what you've seen of him, and do you watch his film? What do you think has led to this resurgence the last couple of fights of him looking much better than he had previously?
When I watch Dan Hooker fights, my heart start beating faster. Like feel more adrenaline, but this is really good, positive vibes. I really love that. I know also that Hooker want to rip my head off with his knee or his uppercut. This is not surprise. But the fight, this is not Q1 fight. This is gonna be mixed martial art, and I am happy. I know that also that Hooker is hard as rock. Like he show his fight, but I have hammer my right hand and the left hand. So I wanna use my both hammers and doing like that.
If that happens, Dan Hooker is going to be the nail. Then you're the hammer, and he's going to be the nail. So, what do you? 2 things. Number one, you're going to be fighting on Sunday morning in Australia time. What will that be like? And does that change, how you have to prepare? Like, do you have to train at different times because you're fighting earlier?
Probably I love this time because 2 things. One thing, this is like when I go to my gym or American Top Team, I go to session. So I wake up morning, eat breakfast, stretching, and go to session, and then I fight. So the fight day is always like full stress. The fight day we do nothing, just wait to room and full stress. This time this gonna be like quick. This is one thing. Another things, when I fought with Holtzman, this was the same time when I fight in the morning. So this prediction is like I won the Holtzman via KO. So this time can be the same things.
Okay, well that's good. So you got good vibes in the morning.
Yeah, good vibes, really good vibes. I love it. I love it.
I want to throw this at you, a totally different topic, but you're a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and you've competed at a high level in European grappling tournaments and whatnot. In Las Vegas on Saturday, actually opposite UFC, there's a grappling match, and I wanted to get, what do you make of this? Gabi Garcia, a woman, is going to be grappling Craig Jones, one of the best in the world at this. They're roughly the same size. What do you make of this? When you heard that they were going to have that grappling match, what was it like when you heard that?
You're talking about the Craig Jones International, but it's
Right.
also the same. Yeah, this is like, I think, fun matchup. Like the man versus woman. The Craig Jones and Gabi Garcia had a lot of shit, talking shit many times, like controversial, but I think this is like only for fans, like fun matchup. But the same weekend is also Mundial ADCC in Las Vegas,
Right.
like this is like the World Championship Jiu-Jitsu tournament, and I had two times this Mundial ADCC, like 2015 and 2019. So I know this is like super high level guys where we'll fight each other. Really interesting, really interesting weekend. If I can't, if I can, I wanna watch some matches from there, because like the Craig Jones International or Mundial ADCC, this is gonna be each fight really high level matchup. So like you say, I am black belt jiu-jitsu, wrestling and jiu-jitsu is my DNA. I love use this style in the competition in the UFC cage, or also in my gym in American top teams. So I am really excited this weekend. But first, my job in Australia, then I wanna watch to jiu-jitsu.
Two more questions and I'll let you run, Mateusz. I appreciate your time. I just want to, you're talking about jiu-jitsu is in your style along with the wrestling. And of course, we can't forget the hammers, right? But we know that. But, the former middleweight champion, Sean Strickland, has a black belt, and he famously threw his championship belt in the trash. And he said jiu-jitsu doesn't work. Sean, is kind of crazy, and he says a lot of things. Do you think he was joking around when he said that, being serious? And what do you make of when you hear him say that?
Like this is, I think, like jiu-jitsu match is much different than jiu-jitsu for MMA. This is true, and everybody talking about that. Or if you are black belt and you fought in MMA, each punch change color to belts, So
Yeah.
you have to be careful what you're doing in the ground, and it's much different stylistic. Sometimes I agree with this sentence with Strickland, because you have to know what you want to doing in the ground. But it's some fighters, some sort of technique what you can catch guys in the ground and you can finish him. For example, I love leg locks game, and I looking forward to only one opportunity when I can catch leg somebody and I can broken his leg. So I know that if I get only one change, then I take it.
Okay, well, that's going to be fun. I know you got other stuff to do, so I'm going to let you get out of here. Mateusz Gamrot on Saturday against Dan Hooker in Australia, UFC 305. Mateusz, best of luck to you, brother. I appreciate you as always. Good luck.
Thank you so much. All the best for everybody. Take care.